Hey guys, Zach here. I hope you guys are having a good night. I just finished up on one of my runs and yeah, just thought someone out there would keep me company. Oh, hi Shireen. Hey, hey, hey. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous night. I'm feeling so good. Hey, Kokoloo. Kokoyu. Kokoyo? Did I get that right, Kokoyo? You go, Kokoyo. It's one of my favorite movies, Mean Girls. Hey, Jasmine. Can you please react to Monster X? Well, I will tell you that Monster X is definitely one of our favorite groups, and um, just stay tuned. Keep watching, y'all. Oh, Rabbit and Beans. I'm good. You know what? I'm really, really good today. I had I guess the reason why I wanted to come on and say hi to you guys is, I don't know, I'm gonna like get to a quieter place. I just like, I went for a run. I was with a new friend of mine, I guess that's been struggling. And it just kind of caused me to reflect on where I've come and the changes like kind of in my life right now. And of course there are like a lot of beautiful changes, like the Ivy League, and these wonderful opportunities like going to Korea and California and performing in Ottawa and New York. But I really more so mean, okay, y'all, so like real talks. I'm coming on to my 1 year celebration of sobriety. So I haven't drank in 4 days' time a year, which is like pretty mind-blowing to me. It's definitely something that I never knew was in or would have been in the cards. It's a life I didn't know was like possible, and it's a life I didn't know was like kind of worth living. I thought that it would be lonely, I'd have nothing to do, all the fun was in partying and things like that, and I ruined many relationships along the way thinking that. I was a nasty person, I was unreliable, I was dishonest, you name it. And not that I'm kind of like a perfect person now, but I think really what changed, and I guess the message, thanks guys, thanks Charlize, Grace, I think really what changed was in me, first off, like really believing and that I'm enough. I always kind of mention an analogy where it was almost as though my surroundings and the people that I kind of occupied myself with, and I guess the alcohol that like I occupied myself with as well, it was like the donut, and I was the hole in the donut. Meaning I would just be defined by the people and places and things around me, but like removed, I was not only the hole in the donut, but if you took away the donut, I was just like nothingness. I was like a dark hole. So it gives me anxiety just like talking about that. But like today I am like a chocolate dipped, like salted caramel, like sour cream glazed, thick like donut. You know what I mean? Like I know who I am. I'm proud of it. I almost like celebrate my imperfections. I'm so happy to have kind of gone through addiction issues as I have, because it brought me to like where I am today. And this friend that I was with who is struggling, it was it was like I wanted to like shake someone. It's like, I want to shake whoever's out there in the Ivy League who thinks that like they're not enough, who thinks that they're not beautiful, that they're not loved, that they're not worthy, like who's kind of, you know, who's lonely and who's like scared to get out there because they too think that they have nothing to offer the world. Like I did, like I thought that I would just be the whole. The only thing that I had to offer was like the space in between the rest of the like the cake, but without the cake, like vacuum. And I would just want to, like, life has become so beautiful and so worth living, and I have never, it's like this like weird thing. It's like I've never been so like I acknowledge so many more flaws within myself, but I'm so much happier with myself, and I'm so much happier with the way that I feel, and just like I feel like I'm a good person. And like before, I felt like I was a bad person, and it's as simple as that. Like I felt like I was carrying a secret, and I was carrying a secret. Like I was carrying a secret that I was like in the closet for a while. I was carrying a secret that I was closet drinking and things like that, and it impacted rIVerse, and it impacted my personal life. And well, thanks, Karen. That's so kind. Thanks, Crazy Sound. So like, it was very humbling to go through that, I guess, a very dark period, but I'm so grateful that I did. Like, first off, if any of you out there are holding something like to yourself that deserves to be shared with the world, like if you're struggling, like that deserves to be shared with someone. Like don't struggle alone. Like there's no point in struggling alone. There's only one way out, and if you're looking in, there's no way out, right? So they often say that like the opposite of addiction, and when I say they often say, I go to a 12-step program. Not that everyone needs a 12-step program. That's what worked for me, but they say that the opposite of addiction is connection, and I think that's like so true, whether you're an addict or not. If we all just like connected with each other instead of, I don't know, like if we all just took a moment to really understand who we were, where we came from, before we would pass judgments, I think like obviously the world would be such a much better place. But because the world is slow moving, and because we cannot control the world around us, what we can control is like what's in here, right? How we think about ourselves and the values that we place on ourselves. Because if you don't think that you're worthy, if you don't think that you're beautiful, like if you don't think that you're enough, like you grab whatever keyboard is in front of you, like just start bashing it on your head, because those thoughts need to like exit and need to open up your mind for some new ideas. You are beautiful, you are worthy, you are everything, and you are enough. And like, don't get me wrong, like I struggled with that for the longest time. Like in my relationships, I'm taking, hi, yes, 911. Riggs, yeah, I'm beautiful and I'm not. Well, you know what? That's exactly it. We are like imperfectly perfect. Like the moment that you kind of cozy up to your imperfections, the moment that you're okay with the idea that you are not a perfect human, not only will you be more humble, because ain't nobody perfect. Like only our higher powers are, you know what I mean? But you will be more comfortable with the whole of you, both the perfect and the imperfect. So yes, you know, you can be beautiful and not all at the same time. Like it's I I just like after it took me a long time to find, I guess, a year of continuous sobriety, and I don't look down. Like y'all, if y'all want to drink, if you guys are do what you do, like I still go out, I still have fun. I just know when to say no, and I know when to call it quits. And I know when something is not a good situation for me, but I'm, you know, still the same person. Yes, Maria, you are imperfectly perfect. I love Red Velvet. I think a lot of people needed to hear that right now. Well, yeah, Casey, and to be honest, like I needed to hear it too. I kind of had this like weird feeling like I was kind of coming on to a year, and I felt like I had to be this fully actualized person. And I also face this with every birthday. Like I feel like I have to be, you know, like building on the year before and constantly like growing. Well, like I mean, you can only take on so much until it starts weighing on you. And it was the idea that I had to constantly be building, like building on myself upon like perfecting every corner. And once I was okay with, you know, giving up control, like I cannot be the actor, the director, the producer, the writer of my own show. Like I can't control every single detail and facet about my life. It's not about the first thought that enters your head. It's about the second. So if, you know, if something enters my head and it's like a pretty dark thought, I'm not to blame. Like my mind just went there. You know, I acknowledge it. I'm responsible for what I do about it. What's my next thought, right? So, like, it's okay to struggle. It's okay to be self-conscious. Like you know, I still struggle with body image issues. I still don't think I'm a perfect person. I have, you know, many flaws. I and a lot of them like are sound stupid, but I'm at peace with it, and I really hope that whoever is, you know, kind of not at peace with whatever's weighing them down, you know what helps me? I just sit and I meditate, and I talk to a friend. I also talk to my sponsor. That's just like a mentor. Um, there's so many people out there that love you, and there's so many people. I mean, if you need to find someone, you know, just well, you always have rIVerse. You have the Ivy League. Yeah, Jay Marino, and it's okay to make mistakes. Exactly. It's all a lesson. Like we are coloring our lives with different colors. Whether the decisions we make are right or wrong, all we're doing is adding more color to the mosaic. You know what I mean? It's not as though we're messing up the painting. We're just filling in the space. And I think if we're just honest with ourselves and honest with others, like that's really the starting point. Y'all, I used to be like, I guess it really started with, how are you doing, man? Yeah, it's going well, Joel. You're kind of like coming into a little bit of a rant here. But I struggled with like honesty to, I was basically a constant liar. And it got to the point where it was so hard to maintain the relationships around me because I didn't know what I told Tina, who told Megan, who told like Maria. It was just one big kind of rolling lie, and like a snowball, it just kind of got bigger and worse and worse and worse. Now there was reasons for it. I couldn't tell people where I was or what I'd been doing because I had things I wanted to hide, like, you know, my drinking, like I had I struggled with an eating disorder in university. There was always something, there was a demon I was trying to like hide in the closet. And so I was dishonest with myself and the world around me. And the moment that I kind of just shared like how I was actually feeling with someone, instead of, oh, hey, Zach, how are you? And me saying, oh, I'm good. Like, no, like when I shared how I was actually doing, I'm having a hard time. It was like the world of weight just like rolled off. Clarissa, I'm actually like in a really good place right now. I'm not insecure at all. I mean, and if I was, to each their own. I'm a happy person. I'm a very proud person. I'm kind of preaching here about accomplishments, and I'm hoping that it helps someone around me. But I love what I do. I love life. I love my own company, and I never used to know that feeling. Like I always needed the people around me to, kind of like what I was talking about with the hole in the donut and me being the hole. I was nothing without the people that kind of I surrounded myself with. You know what's a better analogy? I don't know if you guys like ever played this, but it's like this like glass frame, and there's like a bunch of like little pegs, like millions of little pegs, and then you put like a ball through the top, and then it kind of like moves in a direction that you can't really tell which way it's going. I feel like I was the ball and life was the pegs, and I was just like rolling with the motions. I was being the person that other people told me I should be, and I would go in the direction that they would kind of push me in, and I would be okay with it. And like now I'm just like in giving up control, I've kind of gained so much of it. It's crazy. Like, anyways, I'm ranting. I hope that makes sense to somebody out there, and I hope that like if anyone feels that they're not enough, if anyone feels like they're that whole, you're not, and you're a beautiful person, and at least know that I love you. And you guys are awesome. That's it. That's all I really wanted to say. That I love you. And that I love myself. And that I hope we can all love ourselves as well. That's really it, guys. I don't really understand if you guys are getting from this that I am seeking validation or insecure. It's actually kind of the opposite, but it's okay. Maybe we're just on a different wavelength today. But I love you all. Thanks for spending some time with me. I kind of went for a run, and I meditate on my runs. And then as I said, saw a friend who was struggling, so I thought I would just share with you guys. Okay, guys, love you. Have a good night.